The biggest topic of self-improvement is finding a certain goal and following it, your purpose. This will guide you to the ultimate fulfillment that you want and will give you the meaning of life. It is the almighty goal that you want to achieve, but many people still don't know what purpose really is. I wouldn't label myself an expert in this topic, but I've definitely made some experiences on how to find my purpose and want to share that with you. You can definitely take something out for you as well and then start your own exploration on this topic and find your purpose. Right now you might think that you've already found your purpose, but that might not be the case. Many people, especially on social media, want to implant their goals and thoughts into your head. That is getting a good job, being rich, sleeping with lots and lots of women and having 8 cars and what else they want to show you. But even though many of these people like myself don't actually want to influence your goals, you will still be affected by us because of our standpoints, arguments, experience, and will sometimes just take them onto yourself without actually consciously thinking about them. Your parents, teachers, mentors have and still do the same thing daily. But don't be angry at them or at me for giving you the wrong purpose. All that we want to do is to help you, and we do that by giving you the advice that has helped us the most. And because we don't know who you really are, we can not specialize on what works best for you and can only go from our own experiences. So even when watching this video right now, listen closely to what I have to say and then be the judge of your own if you think that it's true or not. What you generally should do with my and all the other videos that you watch is to think consciously through them and to see if what there and I am talking about is complete nonsense or if it actually will bring you further in life. So, the first point to finding your purpose is to look at your hobbies and what interests you the most. Just think about it. Is it art that really excites you? Do you like music, sports, some kind of work, socially interacting with other people, or anything that you can think of? Do you want to be a cook? Do you want to be the best baseball player in the world? Or do you just want to program something that is your own work and that will help people to get further in life? What is it that really excites you? Just pause this video and think about it for a few minutes. Have you found it? I'd suppose not, because it actually takes some time to really think about your hobbies and your motivation. Speaking of motivation, motivation is a very big factor of your purpose. If you think about it, if you think about something and instantly have motivation to do it, then it'll probably be one of your purposes. Motivation is a big factor when it comes to achieving goals. And when you really want to achieve a goal, you get motivated and therefore found what you have to chase after. Another tip so that you can realize if this goal is really your purpose or just short-term motivation is to look for the long term. Could you do this for over a month? Could you do this for over a year? Could this be the one thing you work on for a decade? You just have to think about it. Is it really something that is really worth putting in the time? Is it fighting and therefore learning how to be the best fighter in Kung Fu? Is it mastering the art of drawing and drawing the most beautiful picture that anyone has ever seen? Is it socially interacting with other people and being the best at selling something, at bringing people together? Especially, do you have a hobby of meeting new people, greeting them, meeting new friends, keeping in touch with your friends, or anything that you can think of? Again, these questions will give you the answer to what your purpose is. An example for bad goals and a false purpose are video games. Video games won't bring you further in life. Even though you're the best person in one video game, you won't really achieve that much. You can get a lot of status by being the best in one video game, but first of all, it's oversaturated. And why is that? Because video games are shallow. They're not that hard to do. They don't really have one thing that keeps you going, that motivates you, that gives you drive, that gives you the status that you need to follow that goal. I mean, think about it. Think about the last time that you've played video games. Has it changed anything in your life? And by anything, I mean anything. Of course, you might have felt happier after that, because you've spent 2 hours having fun in one video game, hopefully. But it hasn't changed much at all. It even has negatively impacted you by therefore wasting your time, giving you less of a status because people think that you're just lazy. Think about it really. Video games don't have that much positive side to it. So when searching for your purpose, keep these things in mind, that some goals are just shallow and don't really mean anything for you and your life. But why can art be a purpose? That is a good question actually. If you look at art and people that are really inspired by it and do it almost daily, you can see that they go through a change of character. Not really from the outside, but from the inside, from the mind. You know, they can indulge in a world that is not reality, but that gets the most out of them. They can have new thoughts, they can see reality from another perspective. They can appreciate it in a new way by drawing it perfectly. You know, when you really go into art, you can see a lot of perspectives that will give you some meaning of life and therefore develop your character. I myself don't have much interest in art, but I can definitely see why many people determine their whole life to it. So again, think about your purpose, your hobbies, your interests, and then see how they can develop your character. Developing and therefore strengthening your character is one big trait of your purpose. So if it checks off that box, you're pretty likely to have a good goal. Then again, think in months, years, and decades. I've already talked about this, but what I really want to say is that your purpose should be a goal that you at least have for a longer period of time. I mean, a purpose isn't just a one-day goal, like finishing off that project, doing the homework, or anything else. Your purpose is the overall goal that will be achieved by doing many tiny tasks. Building a business, or rather said, earning enough money to retire your family, to live a good life, that is a purpose. But you need to do many tasks to achieve that goal. As I said, you have to build a business. And for building a business, you also have to do lots and lots of tasks to achieve that goal. For being financially freed, you have to get your finances into order. You have to track what you buy, what you sell, how much money comes in and how much money goes out. And you have to track many things, thereby have to do a lot of things to achieve that goal. So when you think about your purpose, you have to think about many facets surrounding it. The time, the tasks that you do, what you may have to sacrifice for chasing that goal, and what you have to do. But for most people, their purpose will only last over a certain period of time. For some it just might be months, for some it might be years, and for some it might be their whole life. But if you change your purpose, if the one goal that you've chased after for the last 3 years isn't interesting anymore, then what you have to do is to go on, find the next purpose, and then chase after that one. Chasing after the old purpose and therefore sticking to it because you've done so much in it will only ruin your spirituality and will take away all of the motivation and drive that you had. So my tip is that if you found your purpose, that you enjoy it as best as you can, and then when you've found another purpose to follow, that you directly change your course onto it. But the best way to find out what your purpose is by just sitting down and thinking without any distractions. Turn off the noise, close your window, just lock yourself into your room, make it as quiet and maybe even as dark as possible, and then just think in quiet and peace. Best is if you close your eyes and just focus on the dark void that you see in front of you. In other words, meditating will guide you to your purpose. Meditating isn't just an amazing tool for increasing your focus, being more conscious, and clearing your mind, but also a great way to find your purpose. The steps that I mentioned earlier by sitting down and quiet and pace are exactly what you do in meditating as well. In this state, you will only think about your thoughts. You will get a lot of random and irrelevant thoughts, but you don't have to consciously pay attention to them. What you do by meditating is letting your brain enough room to think. All of the thoughts that your subconscious mind has will now get freed up so that you can consciously realize them. As I said, many thoughts will be random, but some thoughts will either guide you to your purpose or at least what you have to do next. But beware, it takes a lot of time to find that purpose. I can't actually tell you how long it will take because for some people it takes little and for many people it takes a lot of time. For some people it just takes 2 to 3 days. For other people they have to sit over 3 months and meditate to then find their purpose. So my advice to you is getting started as early as possible and developing the habit of meditating daily. The earlier you start, the earlier you will find your purpose. And if you haven't got a purpose, then this is your next goal, finding your next purpose. But again, don't rush the procedure and indulge in it as deeply as possible so that you can enjoy it and therefore realize what yourself are made of, what your values are, and what you really want to achieve in life. Meditating can not only give you your current purpose, but can even guide you to the overall goal of your life. What your overall big purpose of life is on you to explore. But how do I know when I've found my purpose? And what if it's just another goal that society has put onto me? That is actually a very hard topic, but it's doable. You have to look at the origin of that purpose, of that thought. Did it come from the outside, from another person, from something that you've seen, read, or heard about? If it came from the outside, then it's most likely that it's just some expectation that you want to live up to, or that sounded pretty good. If the thought came from your inner mind when you meditated, or when you just thought in silence, then you can likely think that this is actually one of your real purposes. Again, look at these signs as a strong desire, a lot of motivation, interest, excitement, and all these are the signs that you get when you really have found something that you want to work towards. What question I like to ask myself is, did it randomly pop into your mind and awake a new fire within? If that is the case, then congratulations, you have just found your next purpose. Then it is up to you to decide if you want to really spend your time and energy on pursuing that goal and if it will get you the success that you want. This is what helped me to find my purpose. As I said, it will definitely take a lot of time and energy, but you should seriously consider finding your purpose because this will really give you the ultimate happiness and therefore the drive to keep on going. It will not only get you a lot of progress, but will develop your character to a stronger person. It will definitely not be an easy task to accomplish, but the more time you invest in it, in your overall goal, the more it will direct your life into the right direction. If you still have any questions about the topic or want me to go in more of one of the aspects mentioned in this video, then please leave a comment down below. Always keep your focus on your purpose. See you next time.